personality, how to develop behavior and emotions, your feelings, have a major bearing on the body language of any individual. The motto of each and every one should be, I see, I learn, and I we should take up all the challenges no matter what and work on it. Hello everyone, hi friends. My name is Patricia and I'm here to say something about personality engineering. Well, a little bit about myself. I was born and brought up in Hyderabad here, and I'm a faculty in English. I worked at various levels, right from junior college to degree colleges and MNC companies, teaching IELTS, TOEFL, GRE, spoken English, so on and so forth, and also at a aviation syllabus, teaching the aviation curriculum. Well, right from those days till now, I have an experience of 15 years, and presently I am just working online, working on some project. Well, this is how it is, and today I thank the management and staff of PMC channel for inviting me to share my views on personality development or personality engineering. Well, I am very privileged, and also I especially thank my dear student Aishi for taking the initiative to call me and to come over and to give my valuable inputs on personality engineering. Let's get started. What is personality engineering? Is it dressing up smartly and putting on an accent in talking, or dressing up very well and putting on speaking with an accent? No, not at all. That is not personality. Personality development has two aspects. One is inborn, that is when you're born with some qualities. The other one is acquired. So inborn and acquired. Inborn is you're born with some talents, traits and good features. This refers to your personal. And acquired is when you try to imbibe some skills and when you learn something, which is the intellectual side. Today we are going to focus about the intellectual aspect of what personality development is. Let's go on to personality engineering. Personality engineering here is not only engineers possess. Everyone as an individual is gifted with some talents or the other, and they develop their personality based on their talents. Well, I would like to give a quote. Engineering problems are underdefined. There are many solutions, good, bad and indifferent. The art is to arrive at a good solution. This is a creative activity involving imagination, intuition and deliberate choice. This is a quote by Ove Arup. He is a Danish-British engineer, founder of Arup Group Limited. Let's go on to see what are we going to do, what are the different personality traits under engineering. In our day-to-day life, we come across words like industrial, chemical, software, civil, electrical and mechanical. These are all words that come before the title of an engineer. I put it in open and close inverted comma. Nevertheless, each of these professions do very different things in order to change the way we live. Collectively, they work to make our daily, personal and professional lives more comfortable, safer and easier to navigate. There are several personality traits that most engineers share. Among them are, the most prominent are, one is curiosity, critical thinking, creativity, effective communication and a collaborative spirit. Let's look at the top personality traits of engineers, or else with whatever an engineer has to possess. First one is curiosity. The curiosity rings a bell, isn't it? What is curiosity? The eagerness to know something of how it's going to happen. Children who spend hours taking toys just to see how they work are the kind of kids who grow up to be engineers. Engineers are curious because they want to know how and why things work as they do. For many engineers, once they have this understanding their thinking morphs. What is morphs here? Transforming into how they can make it better, faster and more efficient for less money. That is curiosity. The second trait of an engineer is critical thinking. When I say critical thinking, is not criticizing others. If you look back to the poets, they are all good critics, not because that they love to criticize somebody's work, but they like to become better people than what they were. So the critical thinking helps them to think it in a very different way, not without hurting the feelings or sentiments of others. So critical thinking is very important for an engineer. Engineers need to analyze, evaluate and synthesize information to make objective judgments at every stage of their work, particularly when it comes to decision making. Engineers who can think critically are able to deftly. What is deftly? It is in a way that is neat and skillful in movement, handle the wide variety of technical, administrative policy and interpersonal communication, as well as intrapersonal challenges that arise within a day's work or a project's timeline. I mean to say, an engineer who can critically analyze both interpersonal and interpersonal. Intra is about oneself and interpersonal is mingling with others, makes a good engineer. Critical thinking. The third trait is creativity. Many may think that the words creative and engineer are mutually exclusive. At first glance, it would seem that in a field structured by maths and science, there would be little or no scope for a creative spirit. But when one looks more deeply, the creative engineer is changing the way we live and work, as creativity often spurs innovation. It was an creative engineer who converted another glue-based project into sticky notes. I would like to make a point here, that is, the creativity is not necessarily be for arts stream but also math and science. Creativity is when one thinks, makes up his mind and imagines, and the thoughts becomes an action. The fourth trait for an engineer is effective communication. What is communication? Communication is what I am doing right now. The ability to speak, the ability to orate, the ability to articulate. An engineer in any industry can have brilliant ideas for a project, but if he or she cannot articulate, what is articulate? Speak it out, those ideas to the management, teammates, clients and other stakeholders, they are of no use. In other words, useless they become without communication, ability to speak. Effective engineers understand that clear, concise, written and verbal communication is the key to giving their ideas life and their team a competitive edge. So I will add a new word here, succinct. What is succinct? A well-spoken or expressed briefly communication becomes even more important in today's global business context, where language and meaning often gets lost in translation. While it is true that many graduate programs in engineering place less focus on teaching these skills, there are plenty of resources such as books, media, podcasts. What is a podcast? A digital audio file made available on the internet for downloading to a computer or mobile device, and webinars through which engineers may avail themselves in order to improve their ability to communicate effectively. So communication plays a vital role in any personality trait of an engineer or any common person. And the last trait an engineer should possess is a collaborative spirit, that is a cooperative team spirit. Engineers do not work in a vacuum or isolation. They work with other engineers, supply chain management, financial and project managers, also others from various business units, etc. Engineers are tasked with contributing to collaborative and cross-functional teams to ensure integrated development. That is an all-round development. The more easily an engineer can collaborate with a team, the more likely the project or product will be successful. So, a collaborative team spirit, cooperation is very essential to work in a group to achieve something or innovate something. As the saying goes, no man is an island. Nothing can be achieved in isolation. Together, one can make it. So, engineers who remain curious throughout their lives while enjoying sharp critical thinking skills combined with the ability to clearly communicate their ideas in a creative and collaborative way are those who will continue to ease the way in which people navigate their whole world. So, in conclusion, I would say for the personality trait for engineering, the motto of each and every one should be, I see, I learn and I experience. Well, this is what is required for an engineer. So, let's analyze it quickly. First is you should be curious and you should have a critical thinking and a collaborative spirit, and also you should have a team spirit. Well, let's go on to, let's spend some time thinking about what is needed for a very good personality development. Yes. What is personality development? As I told you, it is two aspects. One is you have the inborn quality and the other one is acquired. So, the inborn, we'll see what it is, and acquired, I told you the intellectual side. Then what are the different traits of personality development? When you say personality development, what do you do? First and foremost, personality development is not only to be concerned about a person's life. It is personality developed is required in the educational field, in the corporate field, when one goes for interview, and everyone needs personality. So, how to boost up your personality, how to develop your personality? Let's analyze one by one. The first and foremost aspect of personality development is, first one is body language. What is body language? Body language is how you communicate to others without opening your mouth. That is non-verbal communication only with gestures. The term body language refers to the various facial expressions, body gestures, movements, walking styles, postures, and possess voluntarily or involuntarily, which is acquired by a person to communicate with others. So, body language can be used in place of verbal language. As I told you, it is a non-verbal communication. Body language is particularly helpful in communicating feelings that cannot be expressed in words. That which is confidential can be expressed through body language without communicating. Then the second aspect of body language is need for grooming. What is grooming? Grooming is how you carry yourself. Personal grooming is often seen as an insufficient activity, but we should understand that first impressions are the last impressions. Personality judgments are often influenced by appearance, especially physical attractiveness. For example, people may tend to attribute a pleasing personality characteristic to those who look good. That's what is happening today. Our perceptions, however, are often based on characteristics. We may be mistaken too. Well, personal grooming is necessary, first one, to gain self-esteem and self-confidence. What is self-esteem? How you carry yourself, to have profile about yourself. If it is too low, then you have a low self-esteem. If it is too high, then it is overconfidence. So, overconfidence is not good, but self-confidence would be better. Second, create a desirable personal identity. You should know your identity, who you are. in this world? Who are you? What do you mean to your people, to your parents, and to the world? Third, project yourself positively. Do not be negative. Be positive. Always be optimist. Look at the brighter side of life and speak positive. Then earn social recognition and acceptance. Everybody want to be accepted in the world. So what do? We earn people's acceptance. We don't demand, we earn it. B, posture and gestures, which is a part of body language. Postures and gestures are the two main aspects of body language. Posture is the position in which you hold your body while standing, sitting, walking or lying down. On the other hand, gestures are subtle body movements which reflect emotions and feelings. They also mirror the state of the mind. There are 6 different types of postures. These include 1. Inclusive, 2. Non-inclusive, 3. Face-to-face communication, 4. Parallelism, side by side, meaning congruent, incongruent. So these are, on the other hand, gestures can be indicated with the use of the following parts of the body. That is, you can use all the sense organs too. The head, where you use it for thinking, and the eyebrows, sometimes use it for expressions, to express sudden feeling where you raise your eyebrows. Eyes, maintaining eye contact. Mouth, for verbal and non-verbal communication. Throat gestures, sometimes with throat you make gestures, arms and hands and legs. The commonly known 5 senses deal with touch, sight, smell, taste and hearing. The sense of sight, hearing and touch helps human to interpret the outside world. These 3 senses are also used by individuals to understand the body language of others. Then the third aspect under body language is behavior, emotions and body language. They go hand in hand with each other. Behavior and emotions, your feelings, have a major bearing on the body language of any individual. While behavior refers to overt and observable body action, emotions refer to the state of mind such as sadness, happiness, anger, anxiety, ecstasy. Ecstasy is extreme happiness and melancholy, which is extreme sadness. Emotions affect the body movements, facial expressions as well as the tone of the voice, the rising tone, the falling tone, the fall rise tone, etc. There are certain things, the do's of body language. Body language can play a defining role in your success on the professional as well as personal front. Hence, it is vital to be acquainted with the do's and don'ts associated with body language. Do's of body language. Greeting a person with a smile on your face. That's very important. Put on a smile on your face. 2. Looking directly at your audience. That is, when you're speaking, address the audience, look into the eyes. Third, maintaining a constant eye contact with the people you're conversing with. Maintain eye contact, look directly into the person whom you're conversing with. Then keeping your mouth closed while you're listening. Then maintaining appropriate body position and facial expression. Next, maintaining a firm grip or a handshake while giving handshake. Next, keeping a relaxed posture, not confused or worried or turbulent mind. Next, we come to don'ts of body language. What are they? Blinking continually is a very bad sign of body language. Then biting lips, which is not allowed. Wetting your lips often with your tongue. The next one is placing an object between you and the person you're talking to. Crossing arms over your chest. Placing your hand over your mouth while speaking, which distorts your communication. Then fidgeting with objects while talking. Tapping your fingers or hands while conversing with others, which is a very negative vibe. Well, these are the don'ts of body language. The second thing under personality development. We have seen the body language and the various aspects of body language. The second one is confidence building. What is confidence building? It is an emotional state of mind that helps to develop our skills and ability to success in every sphere of life. Confidence is a key factor in achieving our goals. What is self-confidence in fact? It helps us to overcome our fears and failures in life. Confidence is having a faith in yourself, the ability that you will do it, you will achieve it, you will make it. That is the faith in and trust in yourself. Without confidence, it is difficult to 1. Give presentations, seminars, lectures, speeches. 2. Conduct meetings. 3. Discuss business deals. 3. Organize work, events, personal life, etc. 4. Deal with people. So these are some of the traits of confidence building. Next we come to self-esteem. What is self-esteem? It is a feeling of pride and belief in yourself. Self-esteem is considered as the key to success and satisfaction. Self-esteem helps in building confidence, behavior, mood and attitude. So these are the 3 pillars of self-esteem. Self-esteem is knowing about yourself, what you think, what you do and how you relate to other people. Next one is self-motivation, which is another ingredient for under personality development. Self-motivation is the ability to transform our lives and fulfill our desires. Recognition and responsibility are the most important components of self-motivation. Self-confidence, self-belief and self-improvement are the 3 factors that help motivate others. Our level of self-motivation decides how we live our lives. It allows us to balance the wheel of life that comprises of work. To motivate ourselves, we should always, again, think positively. 1. 2. Set targets and goals for the organization, institution you are working with. 3. Acknowledge yourself and the people. Appraise them. Then plan work and life accordingly. Then understand yourself and the people. This will give a boost for self-motivation. The next ingredient or aspect of personality development is overcoming fear. Fear is the worst enemy of mankind. Fear is an emotional response of the mind that gives rise to anxiety, as I said, anger and nervousness. Many a time we experience the fear of something which holds us back in life. Because of fear, we fail to do and achieve much in life. Fear is a destructive emotion that destroys our confidence, strength, mental peace and happiness. It is very important to overcome fear before it starts ruling our life. Fear is a barrier in achieving success and satisfaction in life. There are certain useful strategies to overcome fear. We can overcome fear by, again, thinking positively. Do not be a pessimist, be an optimist. Don't look at negative side of life. Look at the positive side. Building courage and strength in you and others. Then preparing oneself for challenges, no matter what challenges we face. We have to take it in a positive manner. I would like to quote the example of our former President Abraham Lincoln. So 16 times he was defeated in the US presidential elections. So if you and I were in his place, we wouldn't even tried for 16 times. Nevertheless, again the 17th time he contested for the presidential elections and he was voted to power and he became the President of United States of America, and he was a very good personality. And you can say that you should be like him. Never give up. try again until you succeed. Then the last one under this fifth point is self-assertion. What is self-assertion? Self-assertion means standing up for your rights. Self-assertion is often misunderstood as arrogance. It means expressing opposition in order to state your point of view, what you want, need. Our body language, gestures, facial expressions and language matters a lot while stating our point of view to the people. We should always keep a positive attitude and be patient till our goal is achieved. For this again, I would like to cite the example of the President of the United States, Joe Biden, how he is taking up and treating the racism, fighting racism, right. So that should be our example. We should take up all the challenges no matter what and work on it till we achieve our goal. Then developing self-assertion is not an easy task. As I told you, it takes a lot of courage and confidence to fight for your rights. In order to develop self-assertion, one should have the following prerequisites. What are they? Self-esteem, self-confidence, self-motivation, self-assurance, self-belief, and let's see what is self-confidence. Self-confidence is one of the most important aspects of our life. Self-confidence is believing in yourself and your capabilities. It is something that can be developed at any age by anyone. Our perception about ourselves and others play an important role in building self-confidence. In today's competitive world, self-confidence plays a vital role in shaping our personality. Self-confidence helps to gain the confidence of others. With self-confidence, we can fulfill all our dreams and desires in life. So, to build self-confidence, what we must do? 1. Dress smartly, communicate effectively, maintain good health, maintain correct posture and keep smiling all the time. Next, ingredient under personality development is planning and time management goals. Planning is an ongoing process that includes a series of steps one must follow in order to achieve a target. Often by failing to plan, people plan to fail. That's an important quote. Time management enables a person to optimize efforts, perform quality work, gain more time for personal work and leisure. Maintain a healthy balance between work and pleasure. Maintain a clutter-free work environment and reduce apprehension. So, by following all this, you can maintain time. The third and the last ingredient under personality development is teamwork. That is working in cooperation. Teamwork is the ability to and the urge to work together towards a common goal. It is the mechanism of directing individual talents toward organizational objectives. Projects and organizational goals often require that employees work together to achieve some goals. Therefore, teamwork is significant for organizations. Trust and willingness to support each other is important while working in a team. So, there are 12 C's for an effective team management. That is, what are they? The 12 big C's. 1. Clear expectations. The goals, objectives must be very clear to the team. 2. Context. The team must know what to expect next. 3. Commitment. Every member should be committed to the team's vision. In conclusion, I would like to say that by following all these traits of personality development, as I said earlier, so these will help you navigate your qualities and make up your personality. You follow all these ingredients which are very vital to your day-to-day life, not only in your professional life, even in your personal life, at all fields. So these characteristics, all these prerequisites for personality development is very important, and I would urge all of you to develop this, which make up your personality and boost your intellectual level. Thank you once again.